Welcome back, people. It is episode 36 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. We are recording this on Wednesday, the 4th. Welcome to September. You'll be hearing this on Thursday, the 5th. Welcome back to football. We got a fair amount to get into today. Some wide receivers in the NFL are getting shot. We got some awesome college football topics to get into. As always, college football is back and we are jacked. And then, of course, NFL picks, NFL topics. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. So they're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad. Yeah.
Vince, how the hell you doing, cuz?
Dude, I'm great. I'm so
That's good,
good.
man.
When we were making this sheet, dude, I was like, wow, we're back to the times where we can watch a game, talk
Oh,
about a game, and then talk
yeah.
about next week's games. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
a great time to be alive, Michael.
This is why we do this, man. We appreciate all of you who've been with us from the beginning
Facts.
and hear us for a good 3 to 4 months. Not talk about the sport we love and cherish, known as
Yeah.
footballs. And yeah, because we just got to go and pull shit out of. The planning that goes into a podcast outside of football season is absolute torture. Some weeks, it's like,
It
what
tests
the
your
fuck are we gonna
patience.
talk about? What the
It
fuck
tests
are we
you.
gonna talk about? I don't know. The anticipation of football.
Yeah. You see, Shador Sanders bought a Rolex. It's like, okay.
It's like,
Don't know if that's good stuff for the pod this week.
it's like, did you see Quinn Ewers cut his mullet? No way.
Well, that was
I
big
mean,
news. That was big news.
That was
Okay.
very big news.
Gotta talk about that.
And let's face it, it's not like we could talk about baseball on this podcast because the White Sox are ass
And
the
it
Cub
was
fans are
it's
fucking
just been
delusional. So
it's just been boring, man. But now we got football. We got so much football, different types of football. We got youth football and adult football. It's great, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't call it youth football. 'Cause
Younger
that
than
just sounds
adults.
semi-pedo-y, but
What do you mean? You weren't watching
semi-FC
Division 1A fucking bantamweight
Hey.
football?
FBS football, man. I mean, that could be considered the football of the youths.
I guess.
Do you know that there is football being played outside of the U.S., Vince?
Like as in NFL games in European and South American countries?
No.
Yeah,
Like
different
competitive.
leagues.
There is competitive football leagues outside of the major U.S.
All over the place. England, Ireland's got one, Germany's got one, Brazil's got one. Yeah. Sudan,
It's
I
impre-
think, or something like
yeah,
that.
like
They all have.
South Sudan was playing like Brazil and had like an absolute barn burner
Yeah.
on their hands. And yeah, I was so surprised. I saw it on John Boy Media. I was like, this is actually impressive.
You know, there's some guy out there that wakes up and it's just like, yes, dude, I get to bet on fucking South American versus African football today. And goddamn it, call somebody to help you if that's what you're doing in that day.
Yeah, if you're doing that, you probably have a problem. Same thing if you're betting on cricket. Same
Yeah.
thing if you're betting on table tennis. You probably have an issue. It's the WNBA something that you should be ashamed
Okay.
of betting on? Question
This is
for
what
the
I was going to
fans.
say. Used to. Not anymore, though, because guess who's watching, Mike? Listen, guys, we went through a slate of college football this weekend. And what did I text you about, Mike?
Fucking Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Okay, let's talk about this really quick. Caitlin Clark is the best. She finally has made this sport fun to watch. Angel Reese, on the other hand, is on my last nerve, unfortunately. She broke the record for most rebounds in a season.
Uh-huh.
And she did that because she shoots 3 for 22 and gets her own offensive rebound over and over and over and over and over again. And it's horrifying. And then you watch Caitlin Clark, it's like double step back, shong, Steph Curry shit. Dude, for some reason, and it's probably because I don't have a lot of buy-in for the Chicago Sky, but I'm kind of like, fuck that shit. I think I like the
Well,
Indiana Fever now.
I'm kind of out on the Angel Reese thing after I watched the highlight of her double dribble, travel, and double dribble on the same breakaway,
Yeah, dude.
and nobody called it. So I'm kind of out on the WNBA. Not saying that that doesn't happen
That's
in
what
the
that's what
NBA.
made you out on the WNBA.
No,
Okay, I was
no,
gonna say you were never
because
in.
I
You
because
were
I
never
don't
in.
really like.
Yeah.
I don't really have a dog in a proverbial fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I prefer to watch the young ladies playing college basketball. I feel like they
Yeah.
try harder. I feel like they care a little bit more about what they're
They
doing.
probably get
My
paid more right now too,
my
for
wife
being
got me
honest.
started on watching the tournament and prior to the tournament in November because it gets very cold in Chicago
Oh
and
yeah.
there wasn't anything on TV on certain portions of February days when college football's over. So we just click on some of these girls playing. That's when Angel Reese was at LSU and South Carolina and LSU were going after it. And,
Yeah.
you'd see some really good talent come through these schools, and these girls play really hard, and they actually play defense, which I respect. I
They're
actually
playing defense
prefer
in the WNBA.
eh,
That's not
brand.
okay, not that game. Okay. This is another thing I'll say. These ladies have it out for the girl. And a level that I initially was like, no, they don't. They're just playing really hard. Dude, I saw a play where, and I forgot who it was, so I apologize. I guess you don't really want to be known for this, but she was on the sky, and Caitlin Clark was on, like, running down the court, and she just ran up and just elbow check, or like, I guess, shoulder checked her, and just knocked her over on the ground. She's on the ground, like, oh shit. And then the girl put her hands up, like, wasn't me. It was like, holy fuck, yeah, it was. Like, you just
Well,
tackled her.
you respect that because, I mean, hey, at least there needs to be some physicality.
Not
Makes you wanna
really, because
watch
it
it a
was a
little bit
cheap
more.
shot. It was like a blindsided, like,
Eh.
right in the side.
Dude, Dennis Rodman used to throw bows catching rebounds.
Yeah, 1989, Mike. That was over 40 years
Bring
ago.
it back. It was a great brand of sport.
Okay. But
Bring
still,
it back.
at the end of the day, it's more exciting
So
now
are
than it
you
was
betting?
before.
Are you going up to the street at the
No.
DraftKings that's never open
First
and
off,
throwing some bets down?
why would I go somewhere to bet? Second off, no,
I
I'm
don't
not.
understand that. Can we talk about that? Okay. So there are off sites that you can go to now that just basically it's like a sports bar
Yeah.
that you could walk up to a little kiosk and put a bet in. But you could literally do the same thing on this thing.
Two things.
So
Community is the biggest thing, because if there's people sitting at home and they're betting on stuff by themselves, you go to a bar and everybody's doing it together, it feels a little better. Second thing is they do packages for that place specifically. Bets that you can't make outside of it, you can make there. Still, though,
I've never seen that. I've
it
never
takes
seen
a real it takes a real degen, to be honest. And again, do what you want to do, but it does take a real degen to be like, I gotta go in on Thursday. They're doing the special little bet. I go there because there's 95 TVs and it's pretty fucking awesome.
Haven't experienced it. Anytime we've tried to go there for the fun of it, they're closed.
Yeah,
So-
it's because we don't leave my house until like 9:30, and then it's like,
but
ah.
that's when you go out.
I know,
mean, come on.
100%.
What am I?
No, I
What
know.
am I,
We just
73 years old? I want to go catch the early bird? No.
we
Going
just
out
have to
around
get
9,
out.
wanna watch-
We just got to get out a little earlier if we want to do that. That's just the
Yeah.
reality of it, unfortunately.
Staying in the store. All right, Vince. Let's talk about some dudes getting shot in the chest.
Good
Play
idea.
football. Shall we?
Happy day. Happy day. People are getting shot. Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall is the 49ers 31st overall draft pick.
Yeah,
So
he was
the
drafted in the first
first
round.
round.
Yeah,
First
drafted in
round,
the first round.
second to last. He was, I guess, it was an attempted robbery and it was an attempted murder case now. Ricky Pearsall gets shot through the chest walking to his car at 3:30 p.m. on a Saturday in San Francisco. The attacker, who was a teen from the San Francisco area, shot him at close distance. Pearsall and him started wrestling because he didn't kill him, obviously. Steals the gun. Pearsall shoots him in the arm. Kid goes running. Pearsall's on the ground, gets taken to the hospital. At the hospital for a day. Sunday, gets released. Monday, he's back in the 49ers facility. He's ready to work, baby. John
If
Lynch is
Rick-
like, you're going on a 4-week at least before you can even touch the field right now. So It's a sad scenario, but what a fucking boss. What a boss, dude.
I
Crazy
mean,
scenario.
Ricky Pearsall automatically gets respect. Do you think it was targeted? Think it was
No, well,
targeted? Was he
so
going after some
supposedly,
jury or
yeah, so supposedly it was an expensive watch that he was wearing. Kid saw a
so
kid shot
Rolly?
him.
So
People
Rolly.
need to stop being so okay with murdering somebody for something at such low value. But that's neither here nor there. That is
Well, to
crazy.
but time out, Vince. If it's a Rolex to a kid who's living in the ghetto, I
Yeah,
mean that could be
100%.
something that is game changing,
I
right?
just, taking a life is something that doesn't necessarily compute
They're
in my
animals.
head.
Look at the West Side and South Side of Chicago. They're
It
fucking animals.
it does get fucked up. You're goddamn right about that. And obviously, like some people get completely desensitized to murdering people, but this is crazy. Saturday at 3:30, just walking around, just like, oh fuck, there we go. Um, this kid is obviously a teen, so he's not going to be tried as an adult. So it'll be interesting to see how this ends up going through. But that frontal lobe thing too that people have that didn't happen for him yet may have something to do with that as well.
Hey, a shit flower grown in a shit plant will essentially become a shit flower.
Isn't fertilizer better for plants?
Well, I'm just giving a shitism,
I got you.
just meaning, right?
Hey, good
If the
things.
shit apple doesn't fall far from the shit tree, as Jim Leahy once said. Just saying. It's
That's
true.
true. Hey, there's
It's
also
true.
the you burn a forest down so new things can grow through it. So there's whole idioms for
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah. And you could also say a shit leopard doesn't change its shit spots. You hope this shit leopard changes its shit spots.
I don't really get that one.
No?
Uh-uh.
A shit leopard
Yeah.
meaning has shit spots, right?
A
Like a
leopard
leopard
shits
has
in place. Yeah, that they want to
no,
shit.
no, a leopard has spots.
Oh, and they're
Do
shit.
you Yes, correct. So
But
you
they
hope
can't change it. That's permanent, isn't it?
oh, one day. We'll see.
One day.
I digress, but I mean, hey, this also goes back to the whole thought process of San Francisco's a shithole and becoming a shithole, or it already is
Yeah,
because
yeah, there's a
considering the
lot
homeless
of
on the streets.
I've never been there, but there are a lot of people that share
I
that
hear
sentiment for sure.
I mean, think about it. When we were kids, you saw Full House.
Yeah.
You got Danny Tanner doing
He
his
died
thing. You
on the
got
streets of
Uncle
San
Jesse.
Fran. No, he didn't.
Got Uncle No, he
He
didn't.
died in a hotel. Okay, go on.
You got Uncle Jesse doing Uncle Jesse stuff, being
Being a
handsome.
hoe,
And then the aunt who was a dime. I forget her
Aunt
name. She
Becky,
was
jailbird.
Aunt Becky,
Don't forget.
jailbird,
Don't forget,
trying
she
to
went to
pay.
jail. Yeah.
She did go to jail.
Yeah.
She did go to jail trying to get her kids into USC.
Yep.
Yeah, paying people off, paying off boosters. I mean, hey, if you're rich enough, that doesn't make you smart. But
Guess
hey,
so.
delete
Guess
those
so.
texts, right? But I mean, let's just say it. Hey, it's a rare condition in these day and age, right?
Reading the good book on the newspaper page. Yeah,
Right.
agreed.
Come on. So
This
growing up
came.
San Francisco and the lore was great, and
This made me
now it's a
think
shithole.
about. This made me think about Tank Dell too. We got two guys that survived gunshot wounds. Tank Dell was at a party and got shot. And this guy was just walking down the street trying to get in his car and got shot. So this is the year of NFL players getting shot, and it's also destroying Aaron Rodgers' comeback player of the year case now.
Well, if Ricky Pearsall doesn't run out to many men, even though Brian Robinson did it last year, I think this
Yeah,
is like a common theme. Why are all these guys getting shot at?
I think people are just more commonly getting shot these days.
I don't know about all that. I mean, do you think there's some potential ties to some, things?
No,
No?
none of them were in scenarios that were like
How do you
cannon
know?
fodder for getting shot.
How do
Given
you
the
know, Vince?
stories that we know, how do you know?
Everybody thought Aaron Hernandez was a fucking saint. Turns out he wasn't.
Yeah,
Right?
he murdered multiple people though. I would say that's the
He
exception, not the
murdered one
rule.
person that we know of.
Yeah, and
But
supposedly more.
prior to that, he was like the Northeast, like sob story coming from Florida.
Dude, I know
Loved
I'm
Rob
just
would come
saying
out publicly and be like, I love Robert Kraft. The man's like my father, blah, blah, blah. I'm so grateful to be in New England.
I feel like I wouldn't use that as a consistent message. That is an exception to the
I'm
rule, not
just
the
saying
rule.
it's at a very odd clip that all these new athletes in the
3?
NFL are getting shot at.
3
That's
in 2
3 too
years?
many.
That's like, oh, hey, I think everybody's gonna murder their wife because O.J. Simpson did it, and he was really good at football.
That was a really long time ago.
Yeah, I know, and it didn't
You just
happen
don't
again.
know. Ricky
Okay,
Pearsall, man, I mean,
Ricky
hey, could
Ricky
be in some
Pearsall
mob
walking
ties.
to his car at 3:30. Tank Dell at a birthday party jumps over a fence, gets shot when he's jumping over a fence. Stray bullet, supposedly. I forgot O'Brien
Allegedly?
Robinson.
Brian Robinson was caught up in a robbery, bro.
Robbery. Yeah, same situation, but that was a house robbery. Sean Taylor. That's how he died.
Sean
House
Taylor
robbery.
is the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, that was. So was Dwayne Haskins.
Well, Dwayne Haskins was just trying to cross a highway.
Yeah, man.
He was fucked up though. Yeah, like his toxicology came back. He had marijuana in his system, I believe cocaine and alcohol.
I've never done any nor all three of those things.
Same. All right. Well, I digress. I mean, hey, this is kind of crazy. So he's shut down for the next 4 weeks.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody's heard the news. Brandon Ayuk resigned. Trent Williams resigned. I don't
CeeDee
know.
Lamb resigned.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the 49ers in particular.
Oh,
They just keep getting better, and they're going to have to pay
listen.
good old
Yeah,
Brock soon. So
I know, but also
Gray.
that's, is it replaceable?
Brock?
I mean, Shanahan brought Jimmy G to a fucking Super Bowl. So there may come a time where they're like, do we want to keep all the good guys or do you want to keep the quarterback?
I think all these guys are so dependent on the system that Shanahan operates. And
Well, this is the last year, Mike. This is really the last year where they can keep everything together and like make
They
it
just
full.
They just re-signed Trent Williams to a 3-year extension, Brandon
Mhm.
Ayuk to a 4. The only person still waiting in the looms is in
Brock.
fact Purdy.
Outside of like those, mid-tier guys that they have. And that's what happened with the Chiefs. People were talking about it with the Chiefs last year where it's like, well, they're not winning the Super Bowl this year. This is their down year. And then they ended up winning it. But I think that's mostly
let's not
Patrick
forget the
Mahomes
reps.
and Andy Reid. All right, whatever.
And the reps.
Conspiracy Mike don't need it.
Just
But
saying.
regardless, there is always a year or two. That's the Bills right now. The Bills are in a spot where they're like, oh,
the
fuck.
Bills never made a fucking Super Bowl.
Agreed.
Not since Jim Kelly had the
That's what the
Bills win a
Bengals
Super
are going to
Bowl.
run into in a year as well. It's like you have a quarterback that's young. You build it, you build it, you build it, you build it. You sign somebody, you run out of cap space. You have to get rid of the old and bring in the new. And few teams can do that. So that's what the 49ers are going to run into too, because at the end of the day, you're going to have Shanahan coaching the 49ers for 8 years and 2 Super Bowls, can't get over the hump. Guy can't win. He's the new Andy Reid.
We'll see. I think they're going to get a deal done with Purdy. I think Purdy will get top dollar, but he'll get creative in how much money he takes in the beginning and end.
It's just
I feel like that's what teams do.
You end up running out of money at some point, just like the Cowboys are going to too soon.
Well, we will see on that, people. Speaking of conspiracies, Vince, have you seen the conspiracies in regards to the relationship of the Travis Kelce, who's on an FX show now?
Yeah.
And then the Taylor Swift, who allegedly is depicted in the new Madden, which if so, I'm not buying it.
You weren't gonna buy it anyway.
Maybe when it goes on sale,
Oh,
but
because
if
you do
she's
have
in
a
the
game,
game,
actually. Yeah.
if she's in the game, I am not playing it.
Yeah, it's
No
fucking
shot.
stupid. It annoys the hell out of me.
Allegedly, though, conspiracy pod,
Yeah.
there is a legal document somewhere in the world that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have both agreed to that at some point in the next month,
What, September
there will be a
22nd
break.
or something like that?
Yeah.
Dude, I could go onto
Allegedly.
Microsoft Word right now and write up a legal document that says that they need to break up on a certain date. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying if this were a actual thing, there's no fucking way it's getting leaked. Unless they're doing it as like a let's get somebody and let's put ourselves in the news again. That's what it feels like. Because every video I've seen of it, all of the people reporting it are all like the clickbait, like fucking stupid bullshit where they're like, Oh, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, I knew it was never real. It's always been a marketing campaign. Now, if they break up on the 22nd, which now they definitely won't because it's already out. So now they'll just move it a week later or some shit.
I
Like,
don't think.
it's
I
not.
think they're getting married. I think they're definitely getting married.
I think they like each other. I don't think they actively
Although
dislike each other.
what is very interesting to me though is she goes from dating like this skinny rat boy
We see that all the time.
music type to like the big burly motherfuckers.
We see that all the time, dude.
Although, yeah, see, so to all the ladies listening, if you're out there, get you a big dude. You know what I'm saying?
You darn.
Hey, Dan. No, but true.
Yeah.
No, conspiracy pod. That's about it.
Yeah. There's
if they do
another.
break up, though, they do break up. It's gonna be pretty crazy.
They will be. And I'm not saying that it isn't accurate. I'm just saying I've only seen it from people that just spew bullshit on the internet. So until that ends up changing, I'm just going to leave that be. But this is a good segue because I want to ask you something about college football.
Let's go.
College football, you're back, baby, and I love you,
So
and I'm happy you're
awesome.
here, and I hope you're comfortable.
Vince finally became a college football guy.
I love it, dude. I love it. It took me a little bit on this pod. I was just big NFL guy, and goddamn it, I'm in. Like I would always watch the
It's
Domers.
better, man. It's better.
And it's not better than the NFL.
It's so much better.
Oh no, it's not. That's
I'll argue this
crazy.
till the cows come home. It's
Yeah,
so much
you
more
just
fun
like
to watch.
watching. You like watching less talented players. because
I
it's
like
like
watching players who play for
chaos.
the love of the game, Vince.
Yeah,
Just saying.
they don't. Both
Yes,
leagues
they do.
function the same fucking way, Mike. What's
No,
the
they
difference?
do not.
Why is it love of the game? Fill me in.
Because you may have those 5-star or 4-star recruits who
That
are
get
getting
paid.
NIL money.
So now you're
Time
getting
out.
out of that.
Time
Okay.
out.
Cool.
Time
cool.
out.
Good. Yep.
What about that good homegrown young man who signed on to go play for Notre Dame,
Yeah.
Northwestern, Miami, Florida, whatever, who's maybe a 2 or a 3-star prospect, maybe
Oh,
even
yeah.
a walk-on, who's playing for the legitimate love of the game.
He's
And you know
playing
what?
for the
He may not
legitimate
be-
promise of a scholarship at a good university that they'd like to go to so he can get out of school and get a
Sure.
good job.
No, he's not right. So that's why you go to college. And not only
for
that,
the love
camaraderie.
of the game, though. That's
time out.
always been a farce.
He's playing for the love of the fucking game,
Yeah, so are NFL players.
not for a paycheck. Not for a paycheck. They're playing for a
Essentially,
fucking
yes.
paycheck.
They're paying to get something. They're playing to get something. They wouldn't walk on at Notre Dame and just play to get nothing. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's different,
If-
man.
No,
They're
it's
playing. They're playing. It's okay. It's so much different when you're playing for $1 million or $250,000 or whatever you get paid in the NFL. I
Yeah.
think they showed on Hard Knocks last night. Austin Reed signing a practice squad contract, aka the taxi squad.
Heyo.
Heyo! And with that, he agrees to so much money per week, which
Yeah.
I've done some homework. It's right around $4K a week, $3,500 a week
Yeah.
to be on a. I mean, that's like $200K a year.
You want to know what that is?
It
Love
just-
of the game.
You wanna
Practice
know what
squad
that is?
guys are love
Fucking
of the game.
awesome,
Yeah, it is awesome. But practice squad guys are love of the game.
dude. If somebody said to you tomorrow, you're gonna make $200,000 a year or $300,000 a year, let's just call it that, $250,000, and you hold a clipboard and you show up to a facility, learn a playbook. Maybe you get called up and then you get the NFL like minimum, which is a huge bump from there. It's like
Oh yeah,
50% of what that is.
I think it is.
So-
I think it's 500 or something. Yeah.
Right. So tell me that's not an awesome gig.
Oh, it's great. What do you mean?
You don't necessarily travel, or even if you do travel with the team, what? So you travel 8 times a year?
You get on a
flying.
private jet with a bunch of fucking football players that
Gear,
you're
like,
on the
come
team.
on,
Yeah.
man. It's the dream gig.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
saying though, it's a lot different than the guy who's a walk-on holding the fucking clipboard trying to make a program.
Yeah. I think the love of the game thing's been a sham for a long time because
I think you're a hater, Vince. Just like how you call
Also,
me a
the
hater, I
guys-
think you're a fucking hater.
I'm not. I'm just saying both leagues, people enjoy the camaraderie and playing for a team. I'm just saying that that's
You
possible
don't
in both
get
places.
The environments as well. The environments are electric.
100%.
You don't get
I mean,
this in the NFL.
you can't replicate the big house. The real thing with college football is the students that go there and the buy-in that they have. That's much different than just NFL fans being fans of a team of their city. Is like a guy going to Michigan or somebody going to LSU and going to watch LSU and having an actual buy-in that they're at LSU all the time. That's the school they go to, and they're also watching their team play. They're essentially like their co-eds are playing fucking football. Like, that's cool. Like, that's something that we can't replicate. Closest thing we got was Seattle during the Legion of Boom.
I agree. Then again, you also have to remember some of these kids are in classes with their peers on a Monday and a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They might be in the
So,
same class as fucking
again,
Miller
it's like
Moss. Yeah.
the camaraderie of it all. You gotta love that. You know, professional ball players are in their own little worlds.
You want to hear about possibly a lack of camaraderie in the college game, Mike?
I'd love to hear it, Vince.
Did you read that little article I sent to you about your quarterback?
That he's a little bit of a klepto.
He might steal some shit there, Mike.
I don't think. I don't
Granted,
know.
so this was actually proven to have happened. Okay. Couple years ago, everybody's 18 at some point. Miller Moss was 18 at the time. Miller Moss goes to USC. He has a roommate. He's found rummaging through the roommate's stuff, and there's a video of it, unfortunately.
Oh,
that
there's a video of it?
Yeah. I'm not going to
Oh,
play it
dang.
because it's water under the bridge. But 2.5 years ago, Moss says the university conducted an investigation related to a personal dispute between me and my roommate. I regret my actions and have grown to learn from this matter, and my focus is on the season ahead. The video showed him going into his roommate's closet, telling somebody off camera, but you can hear it, "I'm stealing this shirt, dude." And another one, you could see him fart into the pillow he took off of his bed before telling someone in the room to take a jacket out of the closet. He's also found saying, "I've got all of his money." If a student has been found responsible and has fulfilled all the terms of their discipline, the matter is considered closed, is what happened. But I read that today, and I was like, oh, so he stole his roommate's clothes, all of his money, and then gave him pink eye, and then walked out of the room.
I mean, that's just the most 18-year-old shit I've ever heard.
I'm sure the
Like,
roommate did something fucking shitty, and I'm sure Miller Moss is also full of himself, fucking quarterback for USC, and was just like, fuck this kid, I'm gonna ruin. Like, I'm sure both sides were a thing.
I'm sure it's a collection of things. I mean, the farting on the pillow is such a beautiful addition.
So unnecessary, but classically 18.
It's so great. Like, totally just farted on the pillow at 18. And then you stole a kid's shirt. You're like, fuck him. I want this shirt. It's mine now. And then you took, $40 from him or whatever.
Okay, my thought is, though, what happens when you're wearing the shirt?
Dude, there was a kid in high school that I remember this. I don't know why this brings up such a fucked up memory. There was a kid I went to high school with who would actually, like, if you were a similar size to him, he would come over to your house and like steal your clothes. There was a couple kids who would tell me this. They'd be like, "Oh, dude, you're hanging out with Joe?" I'd be like, "Yeah, for sure." Be like, "Oh, dude, be careful. He's like the same size as you. He like steals people's." I'm like,
what the fuck, man?
He's like, "Yeah, dude." He's like you'll just go to the bathroom, whatever, and he'll just like steal a shirt or a hoodie, throw it in his backpack, and then like you never see it again, or you'll see him with it on at like a party or at school the next day. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, yeah, it happened to like 3 dudes here.
That's crazy. I mean,
yeah.
Some people are just kleptos for the sake of being kleptos. And some people do it because they can't buy clothes.
Hey,
regardless.
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Hey, Winona Ryder.
Okay, can we talk about sports? Can we talk about actual football?
Let's talk about sports. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
Florida State is ass. First headline of the day. Holy moly.
By the way, who called last week Florida State might in fact beat ass after losing to Georgia Tech. Yeah. Also bringing up the fact that Boston College might surprise them. Another ACC matchup, and holy shit, did they ever?
Okay, did you see Poop in the Cup guy?
Who? What?
All right. So this kid
Oh,
yeah. Kid goes on
continue.
Twitter, says, I will eat dog shit out of a red Solo cup if Florida State loses to Boston College, believing that it was essentially impossible for Boston College to beat Florida State. Well, little did he know, Florida State was going to lose to Boston College, and it got to the point where he was getting bullied so much online that he deleted his Twitter and deleted his Instagram to avoid anybody from saying anything to him about eating shit out of a cup. Now, if you're on social media and you post something, you don't have to be held accountable for anything. This is something we've known for a very long time. Listen, man, if you're on sports Twitter and it's Florida State, it's a big program, and you post that and it catches wind, you're going to get emaciated online until you do what you promised you would do in the tweet. No one really wants to watch him eat shit, but they want to know that the video is out there that he did eat shit. So he just, makes true of what he said he was going to do.
It's like that. It's like that scene from Anchorman where Fred Armisen's character puts cat poop. He's like, it's like a nice steak for Ron Burgundy. He's like, this is a steak. This is cat poop. He's like, that's what you get for ruining my city. It's like, Ron Burgundy's like, he goes, you'll eat that cat poop. And then he's sitting there. He's like, all right, fine, I'll eat the cat poop. And he goes, I'll eat shit. I don't care. But this guy should just have one nibble of a turd.
I think that's like, he doesn't,
nibble,
by all means,
corner
he
of
does
shit.
not have to, because something's going to happen in a week and no one's going to forget. Everybody's going to forget about it. Thing is, if he ever posts anything else about Florida State, everybody's just going to be like, you haven't eaten dog shit yet, so you got to go do that. He got rid of all of social media. He is no longer on it. So we'll see if he ends up coming back with vengeance at some point. Now,
is he
Florida
going to
State,
be vengeance?
I don't know, because they're not
It's a Batman reference. It's a Batman reference.
Oh, I was like, is there going to be a vengeance? Okay, anyway. Florida State 0-2, Boston College 1-0. Florida State scored 2 times, or I guess 3 times in this game, because 2 field goals and a touchdown. DJ Ugalele. Ugalele. 21 for 42, 50% completion percentage, 272 touchdown interception. He isn't the guy they wanted him to be. Meanwhile, Nicholas Castellanos' brother, who I don't believe is his brother, but has the same last name, 10 for 16, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. Iowa quarterback stat line. But still, Boston College ends up going 28-13. Some people were taking Florida State to be a playoff team, possibly being a semifinals team, to an even national championship team.
10, man. They were
right, and
top 10.
I feel like that was the most egregious top 10 rank. I don't think you can argue any other team was a bad top 10 rank outside of Florida State. They were the only one.
Man, this is, to me, this is such a complete lack of coaching. And, like, it goes to show the difference of a Jordan Travis last year. They were competing to be in the playoffs. So they thought bringing in DJ was going to be it, even though he didn't put up wonderful.
You got to know it's not, though, right? Because he wasn't in Clemson.
Yeah.
He wasn't in Oregon State.
It's rough. And he's a physical specimen. He looks the part, which is the problem.
But he has to throw the ball forwards.
And he has to throw the ball forward, and now you're like, oh, no.
That's his
problem.
And
he doesn't do that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad. What I do think is very interesting is this Thomas Castellanos.
Mm-hmm.
Looks a lot like a very like Temu version of Kyler Murray. He, like, on the field, he looks like that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see
it. He looks like a Temu version of Kyler Murray. He's
small.
Just a little guy. He's a little guy, kind of a gadget guy. Not going to throw the ball all over the field.
14 carries, 5.2 yards.
Right.
Rushing touchdown on him.
Yeah, and I think Billy O'Brien out there is really He's putting together a good culture. You gotta give him credit.
Listen, I know you mentioned it last week that Bill O'Brien was coaching for them. I forgot that. Absolute fucking jump scare seeing Bill O'Brien on the sidelines when I was watching this. I was like, what the fuck is he doing in Boston College? How did he get there?
He stayed in New England because he
Yeah.
liked it. I was like, fuck it. I'll take the BC job. And he did. And I'm sure he's loving life because
Yeah.
right now, his first game of the season just beat a ranked opponent in his own conference.
Ain't no ranking, no mo, if you ask me.
No,
I think
and I
they're probably out of
called
the
this
25.
last week. Man, this is the type of stuff you look back on. And you're like, I probably should have threw some small dunes on that, but I didn't do that.
But
Okay, I didn't do
also,
that.
same vein, we throw a little small dunes on everything that we say on this podcast. We're down pretty big, unfortunately.
Or maybe we're up, Vince. You never know.
I don't think
right?
so. I don't
We've
think
been
so.
right about some goofy shit.
We say a lot of wrong shit too, though.
Yeah. Hey,
Shoot.
you could take your, speaking of which, you could take your Dylan Gabriel Heisman hype and flush it down the toilet.
I never had that.
Everybody has.
I didn't have that, though.
We'll get
you can't
to it.
say
Let's-
mine. You can't
let's
say
talk.
mine.
Let's talk about the two best games
Yes.
in the country. Florida State. Now that seat's getting hot. And oh boy, buckle up.
Agreed.
Ooh,
Oh.
here's a fun fan fiction thought process. Ready?
Okay.
Everybody thought that Deion should have went to Florida State,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's his like second love next to his kids. That's what I do it for my kids. I do it for the kids. Gonna do that. Okay. Shador goes to the NFL next year. This
Yeah.
is his last year in college football. Okay. Shador leaves. What's his second love?
Florida State. I hear you. My thought is, why the fuck would he not be at Florida State and just put Shador on Florida State?
Because they had Jordan Travis.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
And he wanted to make sure Shador got the
Or
national spotlight.
he just wanted to go to college, coach his kids, and then just quit coaching college after his kids leave.
We'll get into it.
Could
So,
be. Let's talk about the two best games of the week.
two
And
best games of the week. Go ahead, Vince.
humbly and honestly, it's both of ours, which is very cool.
It is very humble and honest.
Notre Dame played the night game on Saturday night against the Texas A&M Aggies, and you know this, I know this, everybody knows this, that everybody was like, fucking Texas A&M are gonna rout them and show them that they're fucking frauds and say that 7th in the nation is a bad ranking for them. Well, Notre Dame won, now they're 5th in the nation. I'm not going to go out here and act like it was an amazing game by them because it fucking wasn't. But the biggest argument that you can make here is that Marcus Freeman's got that defense humming. Connor Weigman, whatever his name is, 2 very costly interceptions later on in the game. There's some things to fix. I do miss Audric Estime a lot, but Jeremiah Love seems like he's going to fit the bill pretty well. And this is also a game that I believe that Brian Kelly would have lost, which will lead into the next thing that we're going to talk about here. But he just shits himself in big games, and this is one that Notre Dame kept the momentum. Again, in College Station, not at home, in College Station. They won the game like they were supposed to. They move on. I know none of the games are going to be huge after this. That has nothing to do with the fact that they beat Texas A&M. They won the game. That's all you can ask for. And I said last week, I'm confident they're going to win. And the whole time I was watching it, I was not confident they were going to win.
Well, I stated last week that this was going to be a close game.
Yes.
It's a Kyle Field opening season, new head coach, all of those things.
And it was closer than 23-13. That's for
Very,
sure.
Very relative.
Yes.
I said this is going to be a field goal or a touchdown game. The score, to your point, doesn't indicate how actually close this game was.
Yeah, it was a 3-point game.
Connor Weigman, even though brought his team back to win a game last year, didn't have the stones to do so this year. I do believe that Marcus Freeman overall is becoming quickly one of the best college football head coaches
Yeah.
in the country. And he stepped in as a young defensive assistant, D coordinator, and then turned out to be maybe the best thing this program needed. Because let's face it, he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Why would you?
And the fact that this team, regardless of them being ranked, not ranked, whatever it is, went into this harsh of an environment, can't hear, you can't hear yourself think. I mean, the stadium pulse is insane.
New
They got-
quarterback, old coach of the quarterback, like fucking what's his name? I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. The A&M coach was literally Riley Leonard's coach last year at Duke. Like everything was kind of stacked against him in a lot of ways, where it was like he already knows how his quarterback functions. Like they're gonna be an away game at a really hard stadium. Like it wasn't like it was a cakewalk by any means.
Riley Leonard may be one of the best quarterbacks I've seen not throw a football and win a game in a long time.
Yeah,
Now,
I know, dude. It was so bad. It was so bad, man.
the defense is going to carry this team on Notre
Oh, yeah.
Dame. I thought in the fourth quarter when Texas A&M scored that touchdown to go up, I was like, "Oh boy, this is getting okay, game tied.
Yeah.
Let's go 13-13." And then I will give the Notre Dame offense credit. They ran the ball very, very well and just drove down the field. I mean, that running game saved them. If the running game is taken away in this game for Notre Dame, I don't know.
It's
if they win.
over. Yeah, I mean it's young offensive line too, and that's the thing too. And maybe this is wishful thinking. I mean this will be easier schedule as we go down the line, but
Oh yeah, who do you play next?
the Huskies, not
Yeah.
Washington though, Northern Illinois.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
I know. Regardless, dude.
When do you play Robert Morris U? Is that coming up soon too? When's
Listen,
that game? I got that one circled on my calendar.
you play who
I
you
have
play.
Robert Morris U.
They don't
really
play fucking.
scheduled.
Does Robert Morris even have a team?
Yes, they do. The kid had maybe the interception of the opening week.
Oh, you're
He
right. You're
basically did a
goddamn
backflip
right.
and
You're right.
intercepted a football. It was fucking fascinating.
You know, we got a couple ranked games. We got a couple games that should have been ranked, but Florida State ends up sucking. So what are you gonna do?
Let's talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, so you start the season off.
We did
with
this
an
last
SEC
week. I
opponent.
want
I
to
know.
say that
We're just gonna
we're
talk
just
about
gonna
it
do
one more
it
time.
all over again. Okay.
Here we go. Next
Go
three
ahead.
games. NIU.
Yep.
Tough one. What if you lose to Purdue in Purdue? This would be such an upset that it could happen. Okay. Your next ranked opponent doesn't hit until the end of September, where you play Louisville, which is ranked 22nd right now, which
yeah.
that could actually be a game.
Good team.
So we'll see. We'll see. And then you actually do have a tough ACC matchup in Georgia Tech.
Oh, it's
Because
so
Tech is
crazy.
rolling.
Suddenly it's a little bit hard. Wow.
Yeah. See, after week one, everything changes, but it is going to be very exciting to watch. Now,
Oh, I
to
thought you were
the
gonna go through the
segue.
whole thing. You're gonna go through the whole thing or no?
I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to
Oh,
give you a
thanks.
little bit of shit.
Appreciate that.
Now,
I
let's
want to
jump-
know is USC playing more or less ranked opponents than Notre Dame?
we have more because we have Penn State, Michigan. Yeah,
I
we have
count
real
2
deal.
ranked opponents and Notre Dame. How many does Notre Dame have? 2
We go
ranked
through a
opponents
gauntlet.
and
Vince.
USC.
I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
We go through a
that's
gauntlet.
so crazy.
We go through a gauntlet.
They're in a Power 5 conference and they play the same amount of
We
ranked
go-
opponents.
We go
Oh,
through a gauntlet,
man.
Vince.
Oh God. Oh, what are we doing here?
Okay. Utah State is not NIU. All right. First and foremost.
Understood. I'm just saying ranked versus unranked. These are the bigger
All
wins that
right,
you need
Michigan,
to do. Georgia Tech
we
beats
have
a good
Wisconsin.
ACC team.
Then we have Wisconsin.
It could be good. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Always a factor in the Big Ten. Play great defense.
Oh yeah.
All
I'm
right.
not denying
Then
you. I'm just
Minnesota,
saying.
Another
2
Big
ranked.
Ten matchup. All right. Now, the games that got me a little concerned, Washington in
Yeah.
Washington. Then we get Nebraska at home. And then UCLA.
Nebraska's good.
Dylan Raiola, man, he looks like the second coming of someone that also wears 15 in the NFL.
I like
He-
them. I like
I've
them
been
a lot.
saying it all season. Shout out to Pods R Us. I have been saying it all offseason that
Yeah,
Nebraska is a sleeper of a team, and year 2 of any
Matt Rule.
Matt Rule-led team is usually really good.
I
Hell of
like
a
them a
coach
lot.
too.
They're really fun. They play good
Cool.
defense. Like it's no longer Scott Frost season in Nebraska. They're here
We'll
and
get
they're here to be good.
I wanna talk about the game going into Lincoln, Nebraska, and Shador Sanders and this matchup in particular, because you have a true freshman
Yep.
coming in, playing now a final year senior in Shador.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun to watch. I've got that game circled. I will be watching that game, no doubt about it.
I think the Big Red Nation's gonna have a real good time with that game, personally. Can
It's gonna
we
be fun to watch.
can we talk about your boys? The other
I'd
most
love
exciting game.
I would love to talk about my USC Trojans. I
Down in the
watched this game.
bayou, huh?
No, we were in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's
Um,
true. You were in Vegas.
we were
LSU was home though, technically. Does that even fucking matter?
it really I mean, hey, neutral site game, we'll take it. Start
But
the
it was
season
it
off.
wasn't though, right?
I mean, it was
LSU
packed.
travels, but holy shit, it's a lot closer to Southern California
Oh,
than
yeah,
it
of
is
course
to
it is. Of
yeah.
course. I mean, it's an hour and a half flight as opposed to a 4 or 3 or
Right.
whatever that is. So either way, Brian Kelly, to your point, big game. What does he do? Usually shits the bed.
Yep.
Let's talk about this game. I am actually, for the first time in a long time, more excited to watch a Trojan team without the big wig quarterback, without Matt Barkley, Sam Darnold, or Caleb Williams, with just a system-based quarterback.
Miller Moss
I
stole the win here, you know what I'm saying?
I I really think that
No, he
an
stole the
offense
win, Mike. You know what
uh
I'm saying?
eh,
Thank you. Go ahead.
okay, okay. Which he actually
It's a
kind of did if you
fucking
go back and watch
fly,
the game.
dude.
Um, I will say that this system leads far better with a guy that just follows
The
protocol,
system. Yeah.
that doesn't go off script, that doesn't do that, follows the system Lincoln has, which we know the man can coach offense, has won numerous Big 12 titles. This guy now, which is even scarier, just might look like he has a fucking defense. And holy shit, I'm excited because how many drives in the past where this defense bends and breaks? This year, not the case. This year, we were bending and not breaking and holding teams like LSU to field goals and getting them to punt on fourth downs and getting off the field on third down and controlling the line of scrimmage and shutting down a run game. This was, in fact, one of the best defensive performances I have seen out of a USC led team since fucking Pistol Pete was in the SoCal area.
Pistol Pete
This
Carroll. Yeah, just for people
this
to not
this
Maravich.
is I am jacked up, if you couldn't tell.
Are
That
we
defense looks like
overreacting?
they
A
got
little bit.
maybe a little bit, but holy shit, they can
Yeah,
tackle, and I'm
okay.
excited.
I just want because they did tackle, and we were talking about that as it was going. Naturally, guys, like as these games are going on, Mike and I were texting each other naturally.
I had a
But
taxi squad shirt on. I had my
yep.
USC hat on. I was rocking, babe.
Oh yeah. They looked really good, man. And you could tell that LSU doesn't have a Heisman quarterback anymore. That's for fucking certain. Garrett Nussmeier wasn't too bad. Horrible name for a quarterback, in my humble opinion. That's just all I was saying the whole time. But it was clear that USC just outclassed him. It was, and you could see it too. Like what was he? 29 for 38 in passing. He could carry the team down the field pretty decently. Nussmeier, this is. They get around to the 20, and it was just dead. Like, whatever USC was doing in the red zone was just shut down, like, you shall not pass type shit. Like, one interception he ends up throwing that's maybe the costliest interception of that game. Also, mind you, the sickest fucking catch I've seen in a couple years. It was like Odell
Kyron
Beckham.
Hudson.
Dude.
Kyron Hudson.
Oh my
Fascinating.
god, dude. Like midfield, one-handed. Crazy.
Two.
But that one was like, holy fuck.
He
Like
also
Best catch
dropped
of the year.
yeah, but he redeemed himself. He also dropped a back shoulder throw in the end zone.
Yeah.
Literally,
100%.
it was right before the end of the half, before that missed field goal. He had a beautiful ball by Miller Moss, back shoulder, fumbled it, and I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
And this final drive, though,
But
truly
that not like one of the fucking craziest catches you've ever seen?
double coverage, goes up one-handed, keeps possession of the ball,
Yeah.
whole range of motion, hits the ground, keeps the ball intact. It
Insane.
was it was truly insane. I think LSU, if I had to guess, they're not very well I wouldn't say they're not well coached, they're not very well managed. They they get up in games and then they feel like they have the game won, it looked like.
Yeah.
They don't finish.
They
And
were
then they
only
have
up
some
in this game for what, like half a quarter? It was mostly tied the whole time. You get to like the fourth quarter, I think they're up like 4.
third quarter, I was sweating. I mean, we were
Yeah.
down by, 6 points,
Well,
4
this
points, but
Kyron
still.
Lacey character is no fucking joke. It looks like LSU's got another insane wideout.
Yeah, but he needs to stop making shooting gestures to other people on the sidelines.
I love that
He
shit.
got ejected from the game because he
I know.
legit, like, came up and,
I know.
like, I'm
Can't
like,
do that.
"Really, dude?"
Well, he was
Can't do
dogging
that.
too. 7 receptions, 94 yards, and a TD. Like, okay. Nice to see you. Yeah, he's not going to do that again because Brian Kelly's going to close the door and be like, start talking again in his Connecticut accent. Be like, listen, in the Northeast, we don't do this. He walk out, he's like, he's going to be all right now. I just want to make sure I talk to my boy.
I have a new nickname for Brian Kelly.
He's taking Ozempic.
Oh, for sure.
He's
We know.
skinny. Yeah.
Well, like most people, it's fine.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
What I have a new nickname because he cries to the refs, right? Cries
dude,
about
that was
everything.
bad. That was bad.
He was crying about everything to the refs. Then in the press conference is crying again. Doesn't really take ownership for his actions and loss of his team.
Yeah.
His new nickname, Crying Brian. Crying Brian Kelly.
You got to
You heard
say
it
it in
here
the
first.
accent, dude.
Oh, just Crying Brian.
No.
Just Crying
the
Brian.
Crying Brian. That's all I can say.
Oh! Complain to the refs all game. Cried in his press conference. We're gonna call him Crying Brian. That's his new name. Crying Brian. Catch him in the bayou. Can't win a big game to save his ass. Saw him off, left overnight like a thief in the night. He's a thief. He's an absolute thief. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. He's gonna be fired halfway through this season. He's done nothing.
You're fired.
You're fired. You're done. Toodaloo Brian, Crying Brian. That's what we're gonna
shit.
call him.
Yeah, I think he's I think that rope is a little tight on him right now. And I think if LSU doesn't really come out with having a really good year, it could get a little questionable down there in Baton Rouge. That's my only
I
opinion.
think if they have a season that they don't make the playoff, no doubt about it, he gone.
He's either gone or the seat's hot.
Gone.
Hot.
They don't have the patience for this shit. Because think about it,
Yeah.
Notre Dame couldn't win a big game.
Yeah.
Any big game they played in would find a way to lose the game.
Cincinnati, it was like, hey, we're a smaller school. Like, he just made us pretty good. He's never really, like, I mean, yeah, he had a couple really good years in Notre Dame, yeah, but, like, he's never
Crying
really
Brian.
Crying
So
Brian.
we're gonna
We talked about Florida State being a bad team. They
Hold on.
might not.
I'm not done. I'm not done. Can we talk about the name Joe Quavius Marks?
Marks, yeah.
Also known as Woody Marks.
Yeah.
Ice in this game with a touchdown in the final seconds.
Man
Now,
can run. Man can run. Number 4, man. Man can run.
Kyron Hudson, I know the catch of the game is that first quarter snag. Absolutely amazing. But he had another one-handed snag that he got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that was an insurance company terrifying throw. Like, Miller, you got to put that somewhere else. That guy almost just died.
He put it in such a spot where his boy got destroyed. Full helmet to helmet contact. Defender gets booted.
That was
but he still made the catch
maybe the
and had
worst
possession.
example. That was maybe the worst example of targeting I've ever seen in my life.
I still think it's lame, but I'm just saying
Dude,
that
but
might have been also
that
the
was
catch.
that was literally like bobblehead shit where it was like boom, like right into the head.
Yeah. What I didn't understand is why Zachariah Branch, being the most electric athlete on the field, only had 4 receptions. Can somebody explain this to me?
Decoy. Double team.
Dude,
And that's why Kyron Hudson was open the whole fucking game because they were doubling him the whole time, I assume.
hey, this is a very stonery name, even though he had a hell of a game, balled out, 5 receptions, 56 yards.
Okay.
Lake McCree. This
Yeah,
guy definitely has pair Rohan.
that or like front line in like the Confederate States like army.
Yeah.
Watch out now there, Lake McCree. He's gonna
That's
come
more
get y'all ass.
That's more Zachariah Branch.
Yeah.
That's far more
No, that's
like
early settlers. Zachariah Branch was the guy that showed up on the
Zachariah Branch.
Mayflower. On the Mayflower.
Okay, let's keep it moving.
Okay.
I would say closest comp to Miller Moss, Mac Jones. Looks like Mac Jones. A
Yeah.
taller version of Mac Jones. Could we
Good
agree
game
on that?
manager. A little Greg McElroy action. I could see it.
Maybe I kept getting big Matt Barkley vibes. Maybe because they have the same number.
And
But,
you've also been waiting on this man, so you're gonna be like, this is a comp to a guy that's essentially one of the better USC quarterbacks I've seen. I think he's gonna be good. I'm interested to see how the next couple weeks end up going and how he kind of settles in.
Well, we got Utah State on Saturday night, so I'm not too worried about Utah State.
Don't say that because you never know what's gonna end up happening. Now,
True.
So Florida State's a pretty bad team in Florida. I venture to say that it's not a set in stone thing that they're the worst of the 3 big teams in Florida, because holy shit, Florida sucks, dude. Florida is bad. Or Miami's good, which I think is true because Cam Ward is the man. But Florida looks bad, dude.
Everybody needs to give Cam Ward his flowers because Cam Ward at Washington State as a Cougar, shout out to Donnie Marbit, was absolutely electric for the past 2 years. Transfers to Miami. And now oh boy.
Yeah, man.
I think he's about to put the ACC on notice. This game, he was making it look easy.
Couple nice good runs for a couple first downs, 26-35, 3 tutties and 1 INT, which if you're going to shoot, you got to shoot.
Shoot.
Dude, Florida, first off, Graham Mertz, in his first 5 years as a college quarterback at Wisconsin, not very good. Last year comes to Florida. What are they, 5-5 or whatever the fuck it was? Not very good. Now that he's in his 6th year, he's not very good. I don't know if people are noticing this yet, but he might not be that good at quarterback.
You know, it's so upsetting too because we grew up in a time where Florida was great.
Yeah.
The Rex Grossman, Tim Tebow eras.
Cam
Truly
Newton,
great.
never forget.
Cam was there for a cup of coffee, but he was there. Florida was a program, an elite program.
Yeah. I mean, they were pretty good 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah.
Florida State with Jimbo.
Jameis.
Right. These were like legit programs. Miami took the backseat, but now.
But Miami was really good when we were real young.
Well, then you had, of course, you know, those teams with Jeremy Shockey and Greg Olson,
Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Sean Taylor, Willis McGahee. You could just go for days. Edgerrin James.
Keep naming them, right?
Andre Johnson.
Devin Hester.
Yeah.
I mean, just keep naming the Hurricanes.
Never ends.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely when they were, you know, paying people under the table for sure.
Easy. Don't even matter.
Produce more NFL talent. Now that's early 2000s, late 90s. Now we see
Champ Bailey.
Right. The list goes on and on. Now, when we do look at this team, though, I don't think it's that. But I do believe Cam Ward gives them far better opportunities to stay in games and big games. ACC might be up for grabs, potentially.
I think so.
I think, okay, if Restrepo, I don't know if you saw him absolutely cook.
Yeah, man.
Like 3 UF defenders
Yeah,
in
man.
the matter of one play. Like, he
Yeah.
breaks ankles. The guy is truly that
Fast.
that slot type you love to see. And then
Oh,
now you
yeah.
got Cam Ward, who can do it on the ground, can do it through the air. The biggest takeaway from this game, though, is a guy scored a touchdown who's been in college football for almost a decade.
For 9 years. Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about Cam McCormick? His ninth year
Yeah.
in college football.
I think this is great. I sometimes am like, hey, this doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But it does because he was injured for a lot of them. He doesn't lose eligibility if you're out for a certain amount of games, whatever it may be. I mean, he goes into the NFL next year, presumably. Also, there's a fly in my fucking room right now, and I cannot kill it for the life of me, and it's driving me bananas. So
Well, he's a part of the show, Vince.
I guess so. His name is Freddie the Fly. Shout out to him.
Shout
He
out
was
Freddie the
born. He was
Fly.
born in 1998, which seems real early to me, but it is about 26 years ago. He goes to the NFL next year, and he's 27. He's Velus Jones plus 2 years. That's crazy.
Okay. So he started his career in 2016 with Oregon.
Mhm.
Significant parts of his 4 different seasons were cut short due to injury, which, along with his redshirt year and the COVID year of 2020, allowed him to petition the NCAA for an unprecedented 9th season
Yeah.
of eligibility. He announced his return on X, formerly known as Twitter, on a Thursday with the tagline, "The pursuit of excellence has no goal line," calling 2024 his last ride. What a fucking dog. You
I
love
love
to
it.
see it. God bless it. Keep chasing the dream, right?
Keep working, Miami. They're fucking good. We've been talking about college football for a while. Let's talk on the last couple games and let's move on with our lives. You know what I'm saying?
I could talk about this forever, Vince.
I agree. That's why I'm just trying to get some schedule to us right now. Penn State, West Virginia. Everybody picking West Virginia. You're fucking stupid. People were so high on it, especially. I mean,
It was a
McAfee's
close
obviously
first
going to be
half.
high on it. Yeah,
was a
but
close
then,
first
but then
half.
it really wasn't. But then it really was
That's
not.
usually how that works.
Yeah, which is similar to another game I want to talk about too. But Penn State's a really fucking good team, and God, is it Atler? Is it Atoll? What the fuck is that kid's name? Why can't I think of it? The quarterback of Penn State, dude. Jeez Louise.
Oh, the freshman, the true freshman that
No,
everybody's super
I think he's a
jazzed up
second
about?
year. No, he wasn't the quarterback for them last year.
Or he was a red shirt, correct?
Drew Aller.
Aller.
You know, he throws. They're obviously going to be a running football team. They're Penn State. They're going to keep the ball on the ground as much as they can. Last year, his biggest thing was I think like 70% of his throws were on the line of scrimmage. They let him air it out a little bit this time, which is good. 11 for 17, didn't throw the ball a shit ton, but 216 yards on 11 throws is pretty fucking crazy in the grand scheme of things. And he gets 3 touchdowns. He doesn't make mistakes. If you can play Big Ten football like that and have a good defense, that is some real winning football mentality, especially against teams that may not have the most insane offense in the Big Ten.
I think this game was a nice fake little. It looked to be competitive, but
Dude,
a
West
nice
Virginia was supposed to be good this year. They're coming off a good year last year. Everybody was so excited for them. Like, they're probably going to be ranked after this week. Nah, dude. No.
Well, that's preseason hype always. I mean, they had a quarterback who didn't
But
even
they
throw
were
a
one of those
touchdown.
teams, just like the Aggies, too, where it was like Aggies criminally underrated. They're coming in. They're going to be great. West Virginia was getting the same hype, dude. And they didn't,
You know what's-
this was not a close game. It was 20-6 in the second quarter.
I'm going to be very interested to watch a USC and a Nebraska play Penn State. I'm also
Yeah.
going to be interested to watch, some maybe Notre Dame. You guys don't get them this year, which I think is criminal. But I digress.
Why?
I'm just
We're playing 2 other ranked teams.
not like this. You're not
No,
playing
I
a
know.
top 10 anytime soon.
We're not in their
So-
conference.
I get it. You're not in any conference. I'm just
Oh,
saying
really?
that it's going to be interesting with a young quarterback to see how this season plays out for them. Now, Penn State has been on the precipice of a team for a while here. They believe this is their year. This very well could be it. Ohio State, we'll see the big games, how they play and how they fare. Of course.
Those games drive me bananas, dude.
What's that?
Ohio State's fucking game this week. Who did they play? Akron.
Sure.
That was so stupid. It was like 72-0.
So when Notre Dame plays NIU, it's not stupid, but when
It
Ohio
is
State
it
plays
is
Akron,
dumb, but I'm also not gonna be like, fuck yeah, we beat NIU, you know? Like I don't week 1 should be fun, dude, because everybody's getting back after it. Like I love a good week 1 game. Like I love the
I love
USC LSU. I don't want to see presumably the second best team in the entire country play Akron and beat them by William Perry's number. That's crazy to me.
Well, that's usually what happens when you're a huge program and you need a tune-up game.
Yeah,
Know who
everybody
thought
needs to
they
get
had?
over that. I would never do
You,
that. My team would never do that.
you want to know who thought they had a tune-up game?
Who?
And you want to know why I think they're criminally overrated? Let's talk about a team that's overrated.
Colorado?
Oregon.
Oregon.
Talk about Oregon.
Okay. Yeah.
Going in, okay, starting the season off at home and almost getting upset by the Idaho fucking Vandals.
Who the
Idaho. Idaho, okay, holds this team in the first half to 14. Doesn't score
Yeah.
a touchdown in the first half, mind you. Idaho. Okay, so it starts to look like, yeah, maybe Oregon stepping away. Now, let me give you some knowledge here. Oregon had a total of 3 sacks given up on that offensive line. Guess
Yeah.
how many sacks in an entire season last year they gave up?
I would assume 3.
5. So in one
That's-
game they give up 3 sacks.
That's
right,
the
which is-
fucking dude. He threw 380 yards, and they could not find pay dirt for the fucking life of them. Like, how is
Okay.
that possible?
Second half begins. The Idaho Vandals hold them to no scores in
Yeah.
the third quarter. Okay. They, on the other hand, score 2 touchdowns, all right, to tie the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then, of course, the Ducks kind of turned it on a little bit, but we're on the verge of almost losing this game. This goes back to my point. Dylan Gabriel is so overhyped.
He was really good, though. He just didn't get the ball in the end
Against
zone.
Idaho.
I know, but you can't really fault a kid for going 41 for 49, 380, and 2 TDs. Like,
Okay. Now, next week,
I'm not even
okay.
defending him because I don't think he's that good, but I'm also not going to say that he's bad if he throws for
Okay.
fucking 88% and 380. Like, what
Now,
are
to
we
all
talking
my
about?
betting folk on the pod, I give you this nugget of information. Next week, okay, the Boise State, okay.
Oh, yeah, you
What are
love
they?
them.
I don't love them. I'm just
Broncos?
saying Bluefield School, Boise State Broncos, next week, okay, play Oregon. All right, in Oregon. The last 3 times they have played Oregon, all right, which they've only met historically 3 times.
You got to
They
say
have
the
won all
years.
3 games. All right, they played in 2008,
2008. Yeah.
2009, and 2017. The
Okay,
Broncos
little
are
different
3-0
now,
in
but
this game. Now, somebody I'd like to highlight in this podcast who may be, just maybe, the best, okay, running back prospect coming out of college football as it sits as of right now
Yeah.
is, oh, Vince, okay, thank you, is Ashton Genty, who last week against Georgia Southern had 20 carries for 276 yards and
Goddamn.
6 touchdowns.
Mike, you know who the starting quarterback is of Boise?
No,
Maddox Madsen. Do you know who the backup quarterback is?
no.
Malachi Nelson. Does that ring a bell?
Get the fuck out of town.
He
Malachi
lost-
Nelson.
He lost the starting spot to Maddox Maxson this year. He's former USC 5-star quarterback. Gets shipped off to Boise. Can't even win that job. Fall from grace I haven't seen in a long time.
Malachi Nelson went to Latter Day in SoCal and was supposedly like the greatest thing next to sliced bread.
He was supposed to be
His
Caleb
ladder-
Williams too.
Right. And he was one of the top recruits coming in with Lincoln and then split because it was Miller Moss's job
Yeah.
and goes to Boise and can't win the job there. That's
He might as
impressive.
well have backed up
Call out there.
USC, man. Yeah.
That's
The more you know.
insane, man.
I
You know, the
watch
more you
college
do now.
football now, baby.
Vince is a college football guy. All right, let's talk about our none other
Yeah.
most famous team in all college football who doesn't play very well. Let's talk about Colorado.
Colorado almost lost to North Dakota State, dude. That's so. This is what I've been saying, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but this is what I've been saying: is you could see a team, Shedeur Sanders, clearly skilled, clearly a good quarterback. That defense, dude, the late hitting was like, there was times where you could see like drop back, guy goes down, plays over, 2 seconds later, guy just goes poof, and just runs into him, and you're like, where the fuck does that come from? 2 plays later, NDSU pulls back. All of a sudden, you see a guy halfway down the field with no one covering him. It's just people missing their assignments, late hits, offsides. Like, Colorado's very talented, but clearly undisciplined to shit. Like, there's something going on with the coaching that is not the way that it should be. Deion Sanders is a good recruiter. He's not a D1 coach. I've been saying it for a long time, and you can see that visibly in the game.
I don't even think Deion Sanders is a great recruiter. He's good at attracting transfers.
That's the reason he's a good recruiter, because he's like, I'm Deion, and everybody's like, yeah, but he's going to lose that at some point.
I don't think I don't think he's been on one recruiting visit in the past year.
I mean, Travis Hunter was a big one, I guess, yeah.
Half of this team are transfers. When you walk into a program and basically put the entire thing on notice and state, I got luggage and it's Louis, and now you're coming out here and shit in the bed and barely beating a FCS team.
Right. Well, you can see, like, you got Warren Sapp as your defensive line coach. Like, cool, I'd like to learn under Warren Sapp and shit. But, like, it just feels like they go out there, like, play a good game and don't give up and blah, blah, blah. But not like, hey, when the whistle's blown, get the fuck back here so you don't have a late hit. Like, that kind of shit.
When you're a coach and you're now blocking media members from asking you questions.
Yeah, soft. Charmin.
You're soft as fuck.
Charmin soft.
And we talked about this last week. It's a joke that's even the case. Now, Shedeur Sanders, of course, balls out. The stat line is impressive. Granted, against who? I don't know.
You see that last throw that he had? Or I guess not the last. I guess on the last drive where, like, he was making throws that were... Why are you why are you chucking the ball down there? You guys are up 10 right now? Run the fucking ball. Why is he throwing it all the fucking time? It's that kind of shit.
It's
that kind of shit.
Poorly coached program, okay, who goes into these scenarios and you're about to win the game in the fourth quarter. You're up. Okay?
Stat pad.
Just run the ball, run the clock. You're throwing on a first down for a TD like a dummy.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the play itself, you got your quarterback murdered.
Right.
Shedeur, this offensive line was supposed to be rebuffed. No pun intended. It's horrible. It's horrible.
They're bad. That's what I've been saying last week, too, when he was like, love our defensive lines. Like, how about that offensive line? It's like, our defensive line's going to be great this year. Like, he just avoided the conversation because he knew it was going to be bad. They're fucking smoked this year. They're probably going to have the same record as they had last year, and everybody can just get off of Deion's D a little bit. That's my 2 cents. Last game. Sorry, do you want anything else?
Their next game, I encourage everybody to pay attention to.
Right.
They go into Lincoln and play Nebraska.
Yep.
This is going to be, in my opinion, one of the games of the week. Because A, I want to see Nebraska absolutely pump them. And B,
bless you.
And it's the truth. And B, I want to see Dylan Raiola ball out.
I'm
rooting for Nebraska this year. They're a dark horse in the Big Ten. Don't sleep on
I like them a lot. Last game I want to talk about very quickly. Iowa plays Illinois State, and the first half of the game, we're going 3 points in the first 2 quarters. And I was like, fuck me, dude. You think Iowa was new? Everybody's talking about new Iowa. They're going to be great. Iowa's the same team. They come out in the second half, and they score 34 points. So,
they were playing Illinois State.
I know. Maybe they might be good again, but the biggest reason I brought that up is because they have a new punter, and guess where he's from, Mike?
The UK.
Australia.
Oh yeah.
If it ain't
Oh, yeah.
broke, don't fix it.
Here's me
So
old football.
I think Iowa's
Into
average
the
amount
air.
of points per game is going to go up this year solely because that's the most points I've ever seen them fucking score
Wanna
in my
make
life.
sure I kick the ball in the coffin corner.
In the corner.
Coffin corner. We have
He's
corner
good.
kicks and football rules.
Tory
Another
Taylor
game
too.
I liked. Another game I'd like to shed a quick light on,
Yeah.
since you want a quick light ISU and Iowa.
Iowa versus ISU. Iowa's the important one on that one.
Whatever. Arizona, U of A played New Mexico,
Okay.
and we're tied 24-24 going
Oh,
into
yeah.
the second half.
Bad
And
beat.
then basically U of A woke up. Someone I'd like for all of you to pay attention to. His name is Tiora McMillan. Dude,
Whoa.
yeah, I can't pronounce it.
No, the
It's-
mixture of names there. McMillan is
Yeah.
so simple in the first Tiora.
Yeah, Tiora.
How do you spell it?
Tetairoa.
Tetairoa. Titiore?
Titora
Titiora McMillan.
McMillan. Stat line's aggressive. 10 receptions, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. Guy's an absolute freak.
Wow.
Don't be surprised if you see that name playing on Sunday.
Okay. I love to hear that.
There's college football, people.
Hey, can't wait for next week. And in baseball review, Grady Sizemore gets in an argument with an umpire and gets scared. The White Sox might be the worst team in baseball, and God damn it, maybe the Braves are going to make the playoffs. The Mets are close, and the Cubs are far enough away where it doesn't fucking matter. Let's talk about football.
Yeah!
All right.
Last time. I'm in. Let's go.
Mike, the NFL's back, dude.
I'm
today.
so in, man.
It's today, dude. It's
Yeah,
today.
welcome back to fucking football, people. I hope you've been excited. We've waited a very, very long time for this day. Sit down, get you a cold one of a beverage of your choice, and watch the Ravens and Chiefs match up. Yeah, we get another AFC Championship matchup.
Now, it's natural that as the months go by, we forget things that happened, who's on what team, who coaches what team. So I'm going to give you a little quiz based on things that I learned as I was doing fantasy drafts and I was looking things up and I was learning about things about the NFL season. I have some questions to ask you to see if you're sharp on your NFL knowledge.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, no, I mean, fun fact this year, people, Chicago Mike, aka Mountain Mike, is no longer in fantasy football this year. So taking a year
The only
off,
fantasies he has are in the bedroom.
Hey, how you
Thank
doing?
you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Here
All
are
right. Question number 1, Mike. Who is the coach of the New Orleans Saints?
Dennis Allen.
Okay, hooray. He's on year 4, I think, or 5.
Yeah. Well, he was a coordinator for them.
Most
He's on year
forgettable, though.
3, I think. Yeah.
Most forgettable coach maybe in the NFL, though.
Yeah, I think this year potentially he's out. Spencer Rattler might win that job. Pay attention.
Very possible. What team does Devin Singletary play for? He's RB1 too.
Devin Singletary?
Yeah, running back, previously of the Bills and of the Texans.
Last year he played on the Texans.
Yep.
What division?
He's in the NFC East now.
NFC East.
Yeah, man. This threw me off a lot when I learned this.
Is it the Giants?
He is the new Saquon Barkley, Mike.
Let's go. Let's go.
That is correct. All right. Who's wide receiver 1 for the Chargers this year? Mike Williams gone.
Is out.
Keenan Allen gone.
Yeah, gone.
He was on the team last year.
Quentin Nelson?
No.
Johnson. Quentin Johnson.
No. Joshua Palmer. taking wide receiver 1 reps
Oh.
this year. Josh
Well,
Palmer.
but Quentin Johnson was their first-round draft pick last year.
Yeah, and I think he's wide receiver 2 or maybe 3 because goddamn it was it not a great year for him last
Didn't
year.
didn't they take the kid out of
Michigan?
Georgia? What's his name?
Or Georgia,
No,
Lad
Georgia.
McConkley. Yeah.
Lad McConkley, man, don't sleep on him. Do you know that a 300-pound fullback made the roster for the
Yes.
Chargers? Gotta love
Yep.
it.
He's what is he, a defensive tackle turned fullback now or something like that? Big
Gotta
boy.
love
All right. Can you tell me their halfback tandem this year?
it. Chargers?
Yep.
There's a tandem?
They got a tandem. And they're used to playing with each other.
Josh Kelly?
No.
He's out.
He's not the top 2 in the depth chart.
They're used to playing with each other?
Yeah. Almost for like the same head coach in a lot of ways.
From where?
Well, if I tell you, it's going to give it away. I feel like I already gave you too many hints. It's almost like half the coach's name is the exact same. How
This one's
how about
got me.
try on Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins for fun today? He goes
No
from
kidding.
Harbaugh of the East to the Harbaugh of the
He
West.
goes to Harbaugh to Harbaugh. Wow,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that if
Look
I
at
if
that run. Malik Willis has a new team this year. He was on the Titans last year. Will Levis wins the job. He moves teams. You know what team?
Green Bay Packers.
He's the backup to Jordan Love, correct. Chiefs have a new backup quarterback this year. Do you know who that is? This guy got MVP votes before.
Is he a vet?
You would say that, yeah.
He's a vet. How many years in the league?
Probably like 8 now.
Probably
Top
like
3 pick.
top 3 pick.
Mm-hmm. He's gotten MVP votes before. His beard
it-
matches the jersey.
His beard matches.
Tall man.
Tall. So he has a red beard,
Mm-hmm.
and he got MVP votes before,
And he's a top 3 pick.
and he's a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Man, spacing on this one hard.
He goes by the name of Carson Wentz, backup quarterback
Get
for Pat
out of
Mahomes
town,
this year.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Wow, I never would have knew that.
Hey, Jimmy G doesn't play for the Raiders anymore. Do you know what team he plays for?
Rams.
Yeah. Okay. Last one I got for you.
Okay.
Austin Eckler goes to the Commanders.
Yep.
Where does Antonio Gibson go?
Antonio Gibson, who was backing up Ryan Robinson.
Yeah, they were a little tandem going on there.
They had a little tandem. Talented guy.
Very, very
Kind
talented.
of multifaceted. Okay, give me the division.
AFC East.
AFC East. Huh. Well, if all the running backs are gone from Baltimore, he's in Baltimore.
AFC East. Baltimore's in AFC North.
Oh,
I'm glad
they
we're
are.
going through this experiment.
AFC East. Oh, I
They
give
got
up on it.
They got a winning culture out there. It's New England.
I was about to
He's-
go New
yeah,
England. Okay.
He's the
okay.
backup to Ramondre Stevenson this year. So
That's actually wise. That's actually wise.
I agree. So a lot of things change in the NFL, and some.
I mean,
things
hey,
stay the
you got to
same.
give me credit for not being in the fantasy on the player calls.
100%.
I actually did a fairly good job.
I thought Carson Wentz blew my mind. I was like, "Holy shit!" He's
There were some good
stringing on.
questions in there.
He's stringing on for being the backup to another Super Bowl winning team, possibly, Mike. All right, so for those of you that don't know, through the NFL season, we make picks. We pick each team. We go week by week. We see who wins. We go to we go into the playoffs. We pick Super Bowl, all that stuff, and then we come down to the end of the year. Now, the last couple years, we've been pretty back and forth. So I'll do some background of what we're looking for here. Let's go to, and I got to open up this sweet little file right now to make sure that we got everything right. let's go to our games and picks, my friend, and let's look at what we did last year. So, last year, and I forgot about this until right now, you were in the lead for the vast majority of the year. And Vince made a comeback for all things considered to the point where I was up a game in the last week. You come by and take 11-5 to win again, 159-13 to 158-114. I won year 1, you win year 2 and 3. Now it's time for year 4. So I'm thinking we can go
You
through
think
the
you got what it
games.
takes, Vince?
I
Come to
feel
the
like I
Taxi
do.
Squad
I would
podcast.
I would like to go 2-2. I would like to even this out at 500 this year. I'm thinking we go through the games, we talk about our expectations about these teams this season, and that way we can kind of run through each of them because everybody plays week 1. So, with that being said, let's talk about the Ravens and the Chiefs. This is a fun matchup. I'm very
Very
excited to
fun.
see them play. The Chiefs are going to be better this year than they were last year because, mind you, the Chiefs weren't amazing last year. They just turned it on when it mattered the most, and they won the damn Super Bowl. Obviously, they were really good. What do you think happens here? Because they're playing at Arrowhead on Thursday Night Football.
A lot of changes. Hollywood Brown, not necessarily in the starting lineup.
Xavier Worthy, Pacheco gets another year.
I think the Chiefs are coming for blood this game, but then again, I think Lamar and the Ravens are sick of losing to them. I think it would be awesome to start the year off in the same conference to win this game and to really give it back to them. I will put it this way. If the Ravens run the ball,
Derrick
control,
Henry, big fucking boy. Get him out there.
I think it's gonna be a game changer. If first game of the season, give me the Ravens, man. I'm taking the Ravens this game.
I like the juice. I like the squeeze. This does feel a little bit like something that the Chiefs would just kind of like, okay, like punt it. You know, like if shit doesn't going great, they're like, whatever, we'll get our wins throughout the season. I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think I'm gonna give it to the Ravens. And mind you, Lamar's what, 2 MVPs in a row, or MVP and then Mahomes and then MVP again? Is that how it went?
Yep.
I think he's sick of getting regular season awards. I think he needs to get somewhere in the playoffs this year. So this would be a nice little start. Now, these are 2 teams that a lot of people are interested in. This is the first on the set of Sunday games. Packers.
Well, Vince,
or no,
Vince,
this is
who's
Brazil.
your pick?
The
Who's your
Ravens.
pick?
I agree. I agree with you. The Ravens.
All
the
right,
Ravens,
so
yeah.
we're both rolling Ravens. All right, first
Baltimore,
pick of the year.
baby.
Vince and I agree. Go figure.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm not going to pick opposite of you for shits and gigs, dude. I got to go with my own game plan here. Week 1, we're in Brazil, if I'm
Brazil
not
game.
mistaken. Brazil. Packers versus Eagles. Packers, I actually have a question for you about the NFC North this year because we're hoping that our boys are good. We're hoping that the Bears are good. The Packers are supposed to be good again. Jordan Love gets a lot of money. The Lions are supposed to be good again. Like, are we getting 3 playoff teams in the NFC North this year? Or are we
Everybody
good
needs
with
to
the
pump
good?
the brakes on the Bears hype. I'm
Yeah,
tired of hearing
okay.
Nick Wright already crowning the
He
Bears. With
fucking loves
Oh,
them.
my
He rated
Lord.
Caleb Williams over Lamar Jackson. I'm like, you are a fucking idiot.
It's just clickbait, but
It is.
stop it.
Yeah.
We're not even talking like this. Just stop it. We're excited. We're not that excited. I do believe that the creme de la creme in the NFC North is still the Packers and the Lions.
Yeah.
I think that the Packers have a team where if they mesh and play well together overall, I do think you could see them be the crown king of the NFC North if the Lions take a step back, even though that's the same team with an improved secondary that everybody said that's exactly what they needed to improve on, and they did.
Josh Jacobs
So-
led the league in rushing last year, and now he's a Packer.
Josh Jacobs could have gone to the Giants, actually got offered more money, decided not to, and go to Green Bay.
He said, fuck Daniel Jones. I'll take Jordan Love.
And also the tax bracket. So I think it could definitely change some things. I mean, Aaron Jones gone, also who I thought was a dog, but you still have AJ Dillon and a hell of a good
And
1-2
Josh
punch.
Jacobs. Like, that's the thing. Josh
Impressive.
Jacobs, Aaron Jones is very good. Josh Jacobs is probably better.
They're very different.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. The
th-
offense is going to run differently. I feel like Josh Jacobs fits the LaFleur offense a little bit more, if I'm being honest.
oh, he does. He's
Yeah.
he's that guy. And we'll see if that young wide receiver room really shows up. I
Can
think
hold
that's
on
the
to the
one thing.
ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and Christian Watson can potentially stay healthy and not have a bunch of soft tissue injuries because
Right.
he looks the part. He's an absolute freak of nature,
Certainly.
but he kind of runs like a baby deer.
I agree.
So we'll see. And you got Luke Musgrave, awesome tight end, who got his year cut short a little bit last year. I think he could be it. But overall, this game, Eagles, Packers, Brazil.
Well, you're looking at is Jalen Hurts the real guy? Saquon Barkley added to the offense. Nick Sirianni on the proverbial hot seat right now. They don't have Reddick anymore. That defense might have a harder time. That big Dom dude is actually on the sidelines now. I don't know if you saw him last year, the big Italian beefcake. He's on the sidelines now. I think this is a make it or break it year for Philly. So if they're going to show up, they got to show up right now.
Well, you should show up at the end of the year.
I
It's
agree,
going to
but
be interesting.
this is gonna NFC East isn't gonna be easy, and I don't think Dallas is gonna be bad this year. And Jaden
You
Daniels, that's an
also
improved Commanders.
that Dallas is going to be Dallas is going to do Dallas stuff. Now,
Regular season Dallas is good.
Kellen Moore
Yes.
is now the OC in Philly.
Right.
Likes to air it out. You don't necessarily have a quarterback who can air it out.
But you got two receivers that love to air it out.
Can he get him the football? This game, Brazil, his rightful return on the Taxi Squad podcast.
I got him.
Taking the Packers.
The fly. I got the fly. You're taking the Packers.
Vince
I
got the
wanna-
fly, everybody. Shout out Freddie Fly gone.
I got him. Rest in peace, Freddie. I'm taking the Eagles here.
All right.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Go, Birds. I want to see them do well this year. I want to see them win the NFC East. And also, it's always fuck the Packers, Mike. At least for me. I don't know about you, but
No,
it's
fuck
always.
the Packers always. I'm just saying.
I
they're
don't
gonna win this game.
know. Welcome back
They're
to the
gonna win this
Packers, Mike segment. Oh no.
They're gonna win this game. They're gonna win
Oh
this game.
no. Okay. Yawn of a game here. Panthers at Saints. Panthers probably going to be bad. Hopefully Bryce Young's a little bit better. Hopefully not. Who gives a shit? Derek Carr, is he the guy in New Orleans? In New Orleans, Panthers go there. There's no way they win this, right?
I think this is the breakout season, sophomore year, not slump for Bryce Young. I think he's a very
Okay.
talented young man. I think the draft pick of Xavier what's his name? What's the guy's name? Not Xavier Worthy.
Which one?
something
The
Xavier.
Panthers first round pick?
Yeah, he can barely speak like the English language. His
Oh
southern drawl
yeah,
is
he's got
so
a
thick.
beautiful, beautiful,
Oh man, you hear him talk. He's like, "Oh yeah, man. I'm so happy to be here in North Carolina, and just from here, and just
What the
happy
fuck? Why
to
can't I
be
think
here."
of his goddamn name?
He is an absolute freak. First and foremost, love the way he talks. Chuba Hubbard could be a guy. I do think the defense is improved. New head coach, young guy, good-looking guy,
He
hot guy.
Seems to be good.
So, my eyes. Give me the
Xavier Leggett, dude.
Panthers. Xavier Leggett. I knew it was Xavier. So Xavier Leggett, if I highly encourage all of you to go listen to that man say words because
It's
fun.
funny.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
he gives like Bayou crawfish daddy energy. there.
Oh yeah, like he just sounds like just a good old.
he just
Southern boy.
gnaws on his vowels now.
Yeah, like he's chewing on molasses. Just absolute getting it out there. I like the Panthers this game. I don't think the
right.
Saints are as good as everybody. I don't know. I don't like the Saints this year. I think Dennis Allen's on a hot seat. Derek Carr may be benched for Spencer Rattler eventually.
Alvin Kamara, maybe a bounce back year. I'm going to take the Saints here. I
Okay.
need to see the Panthers do something because they were so fucking bad last year. And I know a lot of things are different, but some things are the same. We've seen it before. New coach, same quarterback, whole rigmarole. I don't think Bryce Young is good. I didn't think he was coming out of the draft last year. I do think the Bears committed highway robbery, and I would like to see them convince me that they're good before I end up starting to pick them. All right. Sammy D versus Danny D. Who you taking? Danny Dimes versus Sam Darnold. Danny D is the stretch, but I'm there.
Oh, give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah?
Sammy D all
Even
the
though
way.
Devin Singletary is going to run for 200 yards?
No, he's not.
I
No
know,
shot.
I know.
I think the Vikings defense is, even though they're beat up, I think they're going to be just fine.
They lose
You
Danielle
got-
Hunter.
Yeah, I think you got Aaron Jones, though, in that backfield now. And I also think that Danny has a target. Sammy D has a target. And Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, when he does come back. I like this
Some
team.
people are saying that Jordan Addison's back in 2 weeks. Some people are saying, and it surprises me based on that injury.
I mean, this is going to be a low-scoring game. Whatever the
Mm.
under is, I'd take it. I think it's going to
Oh,
be a
yeah.
shit bowl. I like the Vikings, so give me Sammy D all day.
How do you feel about Malik Neighbors? Do you think he has any success there with the quarterback that's so ugh?
No.
I think he's fucked. I do think he's fucked. I think
Okay.
he's so talented, but I think he's fucked.
I know you love Dayball.
I think he's a good
Milton.
coach still. I don't think you can win with Daniel Jones. I just don't think you
So
can.
that first year, I think, was flash in the pan. Very similar to Matt Nagy's first year with the Chicago Bears, where he took Mitch Trubisky and they went and they did stuff and they made a playoff game and everybody was like, the Bears are back. And then year 2, nothing. And now year 3, I think it's going to be more of nothing. And I think
Okay.
Brian Daboll is not going to have a job after this year. Not to any choice of his own, but he just never got his shot to draft.
He
his
got
guy.
handed a horseshit roster with really, really bad contract situations. I don't.
And very shit management.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that Hard Knocks said enough. I am willing to agree with you. I think the Vikings are going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year, or the Giants, excuse me. And I think the Vikings are going to be a little bit better than people think. I think they're going to finish last in the division, but I do think they can beat up a team like this. I think we know what's going to happen on the next game here, but Patriots at Bengals. Patriots are horrible. The Bengals get Joe Burrow back. What are we talking about?
I think Joey B blows out.
Yeah.
I T. Higgins and Jamar Chase dressed for practice the other day he's playing. So
I think the Bengals go as far as Joey B's in the game for. And if he's in the game, then they're going to win a lot of their games. So, and the Patriots fucking suck. Jacoby Brissett's going to be their quarterback. They're going to lose a lot of games. There's nobody on that team. They're a bad team. Steelers at Falcons. Russell Wilson versus Kirk Cousins.
give me the Falcons. 100% this game.
A lot of people are high on them this year, man.
I think the Falcons win the NFC South. There's no doubt.
I don't disagree with you. The only competition they have is Baker and Tampa.
Which Baker? Hey,
they were
Baker,
good last year.
But got paid, got blessed, bet on himself. Guy's a dog.
Atlanta gets a better defense. Atlanta's got a new quarterback. Kirk Cousins is a lot more proven than fucking Desmond Ridder. It was horrible. Kyle Pitts now gets an injury in practice. He's not going to end up playing this week.
Matthew Judon.
Yeah, don't forget.
The already stout D-line. I mean, they're going to be good.
I agree. I think they come out swinging at the Mercedes Dome. I don't think that the Steelers can win this game. I'm taking the Falcons as well. Now,
What week do the Steelers decide to play Justin Fields? Or do you think there's no shot?
well, he's going to definitely be in packages. I think they're going to pull him out in packages and have a 2-quarterback set where it's like a fake snap or a flea flicker or some shit like that. Something happens, but Russ is going to have to play really bad. Because the thing with Tomlin is Tomlin doesn't have losing records. It just doesn't happen. And I do think Russell Wilson's better than Kenny Pickett last year. Kenny Pickett was really fucking bad last year. So, like, if they can come to a point where it's 9-8 and they're, getting close to a playoff spot or something and Russell's still working, I don't think they take him out. I don't think Justin Fields gets in there. Now, if Russell Wilson's really, really bad for 3 weeks, I think they immediately take him out. So, depends on how Rusty goes, but I think in a world of worlds of Mike Tomlin, I don't think he's coming in for starting at all this year.
Do we think Mike Tomlin is at the end of his road?
A lot of people are saying it, but you look at that and you look at the comparison of coaches that you can get. What's better than Mike Tomlin? Like, I think he gets a job right away.
That's true. There's not much better out there. Maybe Billy Belichick, but I don't think he wants to go back into that.
And I also don't think he's going to go to the AFC, and I don't think he's going to coach the fucking Steelers after being Patriots. All right.
True.
Texans, CJ Stroud and the boys, Stephon Diggs, Daniil Hunter, Joe Mixon, maybe a sophomore slump in the area. I don't think so. Looks like you don't either. Or Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, another year. Decent defense on that side for Indy. In Indianapolis, at Lucas Oil, who wins?
Give me the Texans all the way.
Yeah. I see two worlds. I see Texans going 12-4, 12-5, whatever that would be. Or I see the Texans going 9-8 and CJ Stroud having a really bad time. But you can't imagine that Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, like, you can't imagine that team.
No shit.
Will Anderson, don't forget about Will Anderson. They're not losing to the Colts this week.
No.
The Texans are going to win this one.
Yeah, no way.
Cardinals, Kyler Murray, Maserati Marv versus Josh Allen and Khalil Shakir, whoever the fuck's playing wide receiver for them this year. Keon Coleman, that's about it. Dalton Schultz, right?
Kincaid.
I almost said Connect. I'm like, he plays basketball. All right, Cardinals and Bills. Who wins?
Yeah, the Bills.
Dude, I think the Cardinals fuck around and win this one.
All right.
I think that happens, and then I think the media goes, Bills are fucked. Bills are going to be horrible. And then the Bills end up coming back and playing well for the rest of the year. Because there's always one of those teams where it was like complete overreaction Monday after this. Okay. Here we are, Mike. Will Levis here too. Caleb Williams on the other side.
Bears.
You got to take them, right?
Oh.
We can't.
Yeah.
We talked
Bears
enough
hot.
about them.
Roll.
Yeah, we're taking the Bears. We're obviously taking the Bears. I really hope they win. But, hey, you got to promise me something. We're not going to overreact if they lose. There's a lot of year left. And I know you're being more reasonable than I am, but we cannot overreact next week.
I'm going to overreact.
We can't. We got to be smart about this.
I feel like it's that. It's like that Shane Gillis line in Tires. I'm going to level with you. I'm totally going to black out.
I'm totally going to black out right now. It's just what it is what it is.
I'm going to level with you. I'm totally going to overreact. Burn it down. Send them back to USC. No, I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I finished watching Hard Knocks last night,
and
I'm very happy it's over because it was a fucking snooze fest round 2.
I agree. Did you see why there wasn't any swearing?
Why?
McCaskey's come out and they say, hey, I want this to be a show where kids can watch it. And I'm like, all right, that's reasonable. Whatever. I don't care. I think kids should be able to watch Hard Knocks. It's more interesting to kids than it is to us at this point. Because we're also watching it. We're like, who gives a shit about the third string quarterback? Let's watch football.
Breaking news. Chicago uses a trio of homers to snap a 12-game slide and avoid a sweep in Baltimore.
The White Sox won.
You see? Yeah. The White Sox are making history this year.
8-1 against the Baltimore Orioles. No fucking shit. Oh, my God.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Eloy
and
Menace.
This is like when there was like all the cheering and then they goes to the podium and they're in third place. Because they break it. They win 8-1 and they're still 31-109.
Fuck yeah. But back
We're talking about football. Fuck those boys. We're talking about football, yeah.
Back to Hard Knocks. Happy it's over. It was a snooze fest. I also think they wanted to omit swearing because they were like, okay, We get full editorial control, and Hard
That's it.
Knocks never come back into this building ever again. We're done. Thank you.
That's probably a good point too.
Yeah.
But I do think it did shed a little bit light on who the team is, who the coaches are, and all that stuff. And there is a lot of hype around the team right now. A lot of hype around the team
Vince,
right now.
I know you're a single man, and there's one thing I'm going to tell you. You need to go find you, and this is to all the single males listening to this podcast, and the females as well. Go find you somebody that loves you as much as the Chicago Bears organization
Loves Velus Jones.
Velus Jones Jr. Okay? Go find somebody out in the world today
He's fast.
that will love you as much as the Chicago Bears love somebody
He's
who plays
fast.
the game of football, who can't catch the fucking football, whose one job is to catch the damn football, who fumbles more than anybody I've ever seen on a football field, yet they're going to put him at running back. I am fit to be tied. In this whole last episode, the last 10 minutes is just a Velus Jones suck fest.
Yeah.
In
I mean,
the
it was.
opposite way
I'm
of
not
bad.
taking anything less than a 4th round pick. I would say it's probably about his value. And we were talking about this earlier. If he's good on kick returns and the new kick return rule, if he's decent on punts, that justifies a 4th round pick half the time. So I don't love it. I personally don't love it. Ian Wheeler ends up going out. They slot him into that position. Fucking whatever, dude. As long as they're not trying to use a gadget play every goddamn drive with him, like that's going to be the whole thing. But everybody seems smitten on him. From Eberflus, Polos loves him. Shane Waldron loves him. The whole running back room loves him.
I'm just tired of having Velus Jones shoved down my football throat.
It's not like he's young, dude.
No, he's damn near 30.
Yeah.
God bless. All right. Give
Jags,
me the Bears
Dolphins.
by 72.
Yeah, same.
Let's go.
All right, so just like Miami and Florida, we got the Jaguars and the Dolphins. Who wins this? Prince Boy comes back. He's got to prove it this year.
It's going to be the Finns. It's totally
Have
gonna be
to.
the Finns.
At
Yes,
home
they're
in the
gonna go.
summer, sweating it out. Oh,
They're
Tua coming in.
They're putting the Dolphins on that really hot sideline. It's going to be hot. It's going to be steamy. Totally.
they'll put the Dolphins on the shaded sideline, and they'll put the fucking Jaguars
Right.
on
That's
the
what
hot.
they do. That's
yeah,
what they do.
I love that, and that's hilarious. All right, a matchup in 2014 that was insane. A matchup now that I could fucking care less about. Broncos at Seahawks, except for Bo Nix, maybe.
You know, Bo Nix is a rookie, won the captain.
He did.
He's the captain of that
First
team.
time since 1967, right?
Yeah, I just really feel like, I mean, there is not many quarterbacks and head coaches that go together quite like Bo Nix and Sean
Payton.
I'm taking the
I'd
Broncos
venture to
here.
argue
They're
that
going to be better.
Drew Brees and Sean Payton were also a comparison like that.
They're going to be better than people give them credit for. Give me the Broncos.
You're taking the Broncos here. I don't know what to expect out of Seattle. I have no fucking clue.
Vince,
New coaching regime. Geno Smith's still there. I don't think he's good. I really don't believe that he's good. I think I know more about the Broncos, and they're starting a rookie quarterback. So I have to agree with you, unfortunately, because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen in Seattle this year.
Hey, they have a coach with an amazing name.
I honestly don't even know who it is.
Michael McDonald.
Oh.
You don't know me, but I'm yours.
I forgot we did a 4-minute Michael McDonald segment one week when they hired him.
Come on, how could you forget?
Hey, we got a matchup of two new full-time official head coaches.
What play it is anymore?
Probably
What?
the bottom of the AFC West this year. The Raiders going to LA and playing the Chargers. Antonio versus Jim. Who you taking?
Justin Herbert starts the year
Taking
off.
Jim.
Yeah, give
You're
me
taking Jim.
Give me Jim.
You got, because the big, I literally typed that in. The big thing for me and why I'm going to agree with you here is this is Justin Herbert versus Gardner Minshew. And this is also a coach that took Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl versus a coach that is now in his first official year of head coaching for the Raiders. So I think Harbaugh gives them 2-3 wins that they wouldn't get outside of that. All right, 4 more games. Cowboys at Browns. Stefanski and the boys. Watson's back. Is he good? No one fucking knows. Nick Chubb out 4 weeks. Defense still looks good. Dak, CeeDee Lamb. Ezekiel Elliott's back.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do to run the ball. I think if you were a fantasy manager
Ezekiel
this year,
Elliott's
you went
back.
heavy. You went heavy on JJ Ferguson and CD.
I picked CD right off the bat. I needed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smart. Give me the Cowboys. I think
Yeah.
the Cowboys, as much as I regret to say it, I just don't know what the hell the Browns are going to do.
They're so good in the regular season, man. And I
They are.
don't think Deshaun Watson's good. I need to see Jameis Winston in a goddamn game this year. Believe you me. And I would love to see it. Have you been watching these Jameis Winston pregame hype speeches?
Oh, he eats W.
D, give me a D. He's like, Cleveland Dogs. I'm like, yeah, I love this guy.
I just love how he went from like first pick in the draft, couple good years, now
To
perennial
no fault
backup.
of his own. This is all
Just
those
a-
teams. Those teams need to give him an opportunity. Jameis Winston is a great
Vince,
quarterback, and don't be a hater.
He's had opportunity after
You're
opportunity.
wrong. You hate Jameis Winston, and I
Orleans?
won't be here for that.
New Orleans had a chance to start.
No, he
fucked it up.
didn't.
He did.
No, he was always backing up in New Orleans. Always. Let the man sling it, dude. He led the league in touchdowns. Who cares about his interceptions? He led the league in touchdowns.
Find somebody like how the Bears love Velus Jones. Find somebody who loves you like how Vince loves James.
I love Jameis Winston. He's a fucking man. All right. Commanders at Buccaneers. An old first overall pick versus a new second overall pick.
Man, the Bucks got to the second game before the NFC Championship last year.
In a shit division, though, keep in mind.
Doesn't matter. They almost beat the Lions in
They did.
Detroit. I like the Bucks year 2. I think Baker is legit as legit could be.
Yeah.
I think he has weapons now. I think that offensive line is primed to go. I think the defense is still hot. Give me the Bucks.
I'm going to go against you on this one.
Right.
Brand new coach in Washington. Brand new quarterback in Jaden. Austin Eckler added to the team. Some new juice. This is going to be a thing where they don't know how to scout them yet. Maybe come in here and sneak one in. I don't think Washington's going to be great this year by any means, but I do think they might be able to sneak one in this week. Now, 2 more. Rams at Lions. You know, Jared Goff only has to play 2 games. Jared Goff and the Lions had to play 2 games outside of a dome this year.
How awesome is that?
It's crazy. Only against the Bears and against the Packers. Now, if they go in first seed in the playoffs, then the entire season, literally complete season, besides 2 games, is within a dome, which would be crazy awesome for them.
It is. I'm very indifferent on the Rams this year.
They'll be better than last year.
I think you could see a definite uptick in production now that Matty Stafford's fully healthy. Puka Nacua,
Kyron.
Cup, Kyron. Hey,
Blake
don't
Corum?
sleep on Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Give me the Lions, Motor City.
You can't not take the Lions here. They're just going to win this game. They're good. All right, this one's going to be fun, man. Aaron Rodgers is back. Does he play more than 4 plays? Is Robert Salah a joke? Is Hassan Reddick going to play? Versus coming back after the Super Bowl, re-sign all their boys. Are they tired? Can they do it anymore? 49ers. Jets at 49ers in San Francisco. Who do you got?
It's the 49ers, man. Come on. Unlike barring some
Aaron Rodgers is playing at home, dude. Isn't he a Bay Area guy?
No, man. There is not a shot. They just re-signed Ayuk. This team is hyped. They just re-signed all these guys to come back, and no way. I don't see any instance that the 49ers don't win this game by at least 10.
The thing about being a dog, Mike, is you have to be different than everybody else. And I'm a dog, baby. And maybe
You're rolling with the green man, with the fucking
maybe.
hat man himself.
What, the Jets quarterback?
Uh-huh.
I fuck with the Jets. Why not?
All right.
Why am I against that? I love the Jets. Aaron Rodgers
All
on the
right.
Jets is cool. Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot to play for right now. I think he has a lot to say, like, hey, I'm gonna fuck around and do something crazy right here. And I also think those receivers are like, hey man, let's fucking go. Like, give me somebody that knows how to play football. So if he plays more than 4 plays, I do think they can actually come in and win this one. 49ers Super Bowl hangover. They might actually rank the Jets a little bit worse. Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old. He's the old man in the league. Fuck it. Give me that shit. You got to dare to be different, Mike. Taking the Jets.
Dare to be different, Vince. Dare to be different. Dare to disrupt. Vince is disrupting.
Hey, I come in there and I shake it up a little bit, dude. Come on now.
All right, everybody. Well, that's week 1 picks.
Oh, I
I'm
love football, dude. I love football.
I'm so happy we're back to picks. Please leave some comments for us. You think our picks are absolutely egregious and stupid, or maybe give us some of your recommendations.
Yeah, come on in on Monday and just roast us for whatever it is.
Yeah, come in on Monday and roast us when we come back like an absolute shit firestorm of
100%.
football and college football week after week. It's the best time of year, Vince.
I know, I love it. I'm so excited.
Man, it is. You kind of. You start to see it happening, and you're like, "Oh man!"
A little chill in the air.
Yeah, here not so much, but
flying. Yeah, you don't get that over there, but
well, I mean, it starts to cool off. Don't get me wrong. You
right.
get less of an aggressive heat, which
but
is
that
nice.
fall like bear weather, that's coming in hot.
Oh man! All right, so let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
What is the expectation for Caleb Williams game 1? What's your expectation? What's a good game for him in your eyes?
Manage the game. Don't chuck the ball down the field every play.
Okay.
Play within the offense.
Okay.
1 touchdown pass, maybe 2. Run the ball a lot. Dump offs, check downs. Nothing crazy. Because then if I see that, then it's like, okay, they're taking this slowly. He's going through his reads. He's doing something proper. If he chucks the ball down the field 80 times and makes 20 completions, I'm going to be like, fuck, they're just letting him go. And I kind of like that, but I don't think week 1 they should just be like, here's the keys to the castle, just run with it. Like, I do think he should be strategic with it. So let's say 250, maybe 25, 30 throws, touchdown, no INTs. That's a great game.
Okay. Historically, the Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer.
I know. He'll get there.
Do you think he's going to do it this year?
I think so. Come hell or high water, because I do think at some point they're just going to let him fucking air it out if they need to.
Okay. Defense. What's your thought process? A lot of people are high on him.
We have
10?
to.
I know. Are they top 10?
100%. Easy. They're our motor. I know we added a lot of guys to the offense, DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, all that shit, Roman Dunze, Caleb Williams, obviously. The defenses are the defense is what our coach is best at. Jalen Johnson is hopefully a top 3, if not the best cornerback in the league. Tremaine Edmonds, we bring in a couple guys. There's no reason for us to not be a good defense. The monsters are fucking midway. So if they're going to be good, the defense is going to be good.
That hasn't been the case over the past couple of years. Okay.
Last year, the second half of the season, they were one of the best defenses in the league. So if they can continue to do that with the guys that we added, we're going to be good.
Okay. My last question. Sam Hartman. Better Ralph Lauren model or quarterback?
Oh, Ralph Lauren model, easily. He's way hotter than he is good at football. God, he got dropped by the Commanders, but god damn it, look at that hair, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Lauren just fucking scooped in, and they're like,
dude,
you're beautiful.
He's a hot guy. I don't give a f. I just muted myself. I just got so excited about it. I got so excited. I got so excited about how hot Sam Hartman was. I was doing some silly things to myself, and I wanted to make sure no one could hear me.
Wow. What a way! What a way, man! What a way!
What a way to
What
end
a
it.
way!
What
What
a
a
way to
way
end
to
it.
end it. Well, on that note, people, Vince muted himself to tear one off there for Naughty Boy. And as always, we thank you so much for joining us week after week. Like clockwork, this will be posted every Thursday morning on the dot. So please share it to a friend, share it to a brother, share it to a sister, share it to a brother from another mother, or a sister from another mister. And as always, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know. Jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.